On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.
Up, and away at Indianapolis International Airport. A new carrier on board, an additional flight overseas, and how record numbers of spring break travelers are adding to the airport's bottom line. Plus,
this is aimed at everyone, not just picking winners and losers.
Why Indiana Governor Mike Braun is all in on a new $1 billion Ag and Life Sciences initiative and what it means for jobs in the state. Also, we check in on construction progress at the Leap District in Lebanon and a look at the state of manufacturing in Indiana. And
come on, Marcus! Give it to him! Give it to him!
Professional bull riding in the spotlight in Indiana. Meet one of the tour's stars, an Amish rider from northern Indiana. Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick. Presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, LIUNA, and the Indiana Association of Realtors.
Liftoff at Indianapolis International Airport, where spring break travelers are showing up in droves, helping to pilot some big numbers for the regional economy. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Indianapolis International, where it's estimated that some 620,000 passengers could pass through here during this busy spring break travel season. It starts in mid-March, runs through mid-April. It is a big push of traffic here at the airport. If the numbers hold up, it would be the second highest number in airport history. There's big momentum here, big news breaking this week on the addition of another airline to the roster at Indianapolis International with East Coast connections and a big connection to the business community. More on that in just a moment. The airport's first on-property hotel, a 7-story high-end Westin, $205 million project, still under construction and on track to open at the end of next year. A new $76 million parking terminal expansion has been open now for about a year, adding to the parking opportunities here at the airport. And growth and investment here adding up to the airport's already big bottom line, generating some $7.5 billion to the state's economy. And I'm pleased to be joined now by the Executive Director of the Indianapolis Airport Authority, Mario Rodriguez. Mario, as always, great to see you.
Great to see you, Gary.
Big news in terms of adding another airline to the roster here with implications for the business community.
Oh, huge news. We have Avelo airline that's coming in. They'll start service June 18th to both Concord and New Haven. New Haven is a focal point for pharma and education, and Concord obviously for motorsports. Now, we go from 55 to 57 nonstops, of which more than 70% of them are solid business destinations, because that's what we've been looking for. We've been looking to concentrate on business destinations. And what's actually a good story, we punch way above our weight class when it comes to that. In the last 3 years, we've added 10 nonstop destinations to the profile of this airport.
And you talk about business destinations, Hartford with the pharma concentration, obviously very important to Indianapolis and Indiana, but also Concord in North Carolina. You've got the open wheel hub here in Indianapolis and Indiana, NASCAR-rich North Carolina.
Absolutely great. It's a great combination. It's a motorsport hub, and it connects our motorsport hub directly. So they're great destinations for business, and even great destinations for pleasure. But mostly we're aiming at opening up more business destinations for this airport.
And you talk about nonstops. For years, that was a big issue and a concern here, but that has continued to ratchet up.
It's not an issue anymore. We've covered all the industrial clusters. More is coming. So right now, all the large ones are taken care of. The small ones are the ones that we're aiming at, to fill in. That's why you're seeing all these nonstop destinations to places you would normally not hear.
Yeah.
They're solid business destinations and they need to be filled. But we've gotten, going from 47 to 57 nonstop, that's a big deal in the last 3 years.
As you look at growth that continues here at Indianapolis International, got a new hotel coming up, a high-end Westin.
New hotel on the way, high-end Westin, which is fabulous, and it's a really a good story all the way around. One, it's a good story because it serves our customers, both on the pleasure-seeking customers and also the business customers, so they can stay overnight and leave early in the morning, or vice versa, obviously. And also, it's designed by a fabulous local architect, CSO, and being constructed by Shield Sexton, an exceptional local contractor. So all the money, the economic impact that we would have spent on developing this stays local.
As you look at current conditions, you're just getting into the spring break season, peak travel season from that standpoint. You've got the partial government shutdown and the impact on TSA. How is Indianapolis International handling that? We've seen some nightmare stories around the country.
I don't think you're going to see nightmare stories here, and you're not seeing it right now. And we're working very closely with our TSA partners. We're making sure that they know we're supporting them. We have people embedded there to assist them. We also are donating money to buy them grocery cards and also gas cards. And also we're feeding them lunch every week or so.
Yeah. As you look, do you anticipate that working its way out sooner rather than later?
I hope so. I hope it does work its way out, but we're ready, much more so than any other facility at this time.
Always have to ask you every time I see you, I don't want to forget international destinations. Any movement as you look at nonstops across the...
We're working on additional international destinations. I'll keep that to myself, but let's say we're working on it and we have a good feeling that that'll happen sooner or later.
Yeah. Mario Rodriguez, as always, thank you for joining us.
Great to see you.
Well, investment and growth also taking off at Indiana's other major airports. Later in the show, we'll check in on aviation projects in the works at airports from Fort Wayne to Evansville and a few stops in between.
We had the opportunity today to tour the facility, and it's impressive to see what we're building here.
Plus, the latest on construction and the economic impact of manufacturing at the LEAP Innovation District in Lebanon, in particular, Eli Lilly and Company's massive plans there. I'll be back in studio for those stories and much more when we come back.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers, as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
Well, welcome back to the show, back in studio in Indianapolis. This week, big news is Indiana's latest strategy to become a global leader in the agri-technology and life sciences sectors. Indiana Governor Mike Braun and other state leaders announced this week the state will invest more than $1 billion over the next decade to boost life science and ag biotech-related businesses, with the goal of creating, get this, more than 100,000 jobs.
I sat down with Governor Braun in his office this week and asked him specifically why the timing makes sense.
Life sciences, technology, quantum corridor. These are all things that Indiana has got within its reach, and this is kind of the first one we're formalizing because we've got with Lilly, Landco, Corteva, so many different companies, and that's not to mention all the smaller companies that play into it. This is aimed at everyone, not just picking winners and losers.
You mentioned picking winners and losers. Yeah. Critics will say that's what you're doing. How do you respond?
No, because anyone's going to be, they're out there. You make the case why it's going to be worth us investing in you to actually accomplish the goal of being the life sciences headquarters of the country. Similar to what a Silicon Valley did organically, and a lot of other places have got niche reputations. To me, again, logistics, advanced manufacturing, we know we're good at that.
You mentioned the assets, Lilly, Corteva, Landco, Purdue, IU, Notre Dame. Is that what really tipped the scales to make this move, is what's here?
It did, but it's also part of my economic development plan is not just big companies, it's Main Street and entrepreneurs. Remember, they create more jobs. Large companies house more. We also can't ignore people that have already invested in the economy. So it's going to be a different approach than what we had before.
The Central Indiana Regional Development Authority, led by Fisher's Mayor Scott Fadness, is going to lead this initiative. Yes. But you make the point that this is not just a Central Indiana initiative. This is very much statewide.
No, it's those companies are here, but across the state, the other 14 regions, if you've got an interest in life sciences, that doesn't mean it's just exclusive here. They were the first that were dressed up and ready to go. Beg the question, well, it's the same old thing, you're only seeing it around Indy, surrounding counties. No, because it's going to be based upon regionalism, and if we're looking for the other regions to use this as an example, bring your ideas to us. We're going to be agnostic in terms of where we're doing it.
If we're sitting here 10 years from now, what does success look like for this initiative? Do you think this has the opportunity to truly transform the Indiana economy?
I think we're taking one sector where we got a lot of pieces that look like they can fit together and actually highlight it as a critical mass that we can develop around. I think it's the model for taking other things that we do well in this state. Best place in the country of the 50 states to start a business and raise a family. And that is kind of an abstract idea, but I think we'll be able to flesh that out by the number of kids that we'll have in our state staying put before they move away.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun. Well, another big health and life sciences announcement this week with big implications for Central Indiana. Eli Lilly and Company committing to investing an additional $1.8 billion in its technology center near downtown Indianapolis. This just 2 years after the company announced plans to invest $1.2 billion to that campus on Kentucky Avenue.
Test.
Well, Lilly noticeably becoming more aggressive in its pushing pharmaceutical brand on television, national TV, especially during the recent Winter Olympics. Lilly's $13 billion investment in the LEAP district in Lebanon, adding to the company's $27 billion commitment last year to create major manufacturing facilities in 4 states across the U.S. Lilly's massive expansion bringing the national leader of the policy-making arm for manufacturing to the site.
Aboard a small bus in Boone County, business leaders and government officials getting a close look at the massive LEAP District project.
The construction here is progressing really well. We had the opportunity today to tour the facility, and it's impressive to see what we're building here.
Indiana is just such a solid example of best in class when it comes to encouraging manufacturing investment in the state, within the borders of the state.
Jay Timmons, the president and CEO of the National Association of Manufacturers, is bullish on Indiana maintaining its position as one of the leading manufacturing states in the country. But he is also cautious about the challenges when it comes to attracting and training the best and brightest. Timmons says education is one of the big keys to getting more workers on board.
Ivy Tech and Purdue and the programs that they've created to help young people get those skills early on, and also be a part of an earn and learn, an internship program that allows young people to actually earn either high school, college credit, college credits, but also to earn a living at the same time.
Lilly's Executive VP and President of Manufacturing Operations, Ed Hernandez, says Lilly is addressing the workforce development issue through scholarships. 1,000 Ivy Tech Lilly scholars in all.
We basically fund the education. We also provide opportunities for people to do apprentice in our facilities, and it's a great deal. They come, they test Lilly, we test them, and if we both like each other, I mean, they could have a career opportunity with us as well.
As far as the construction timeline is going at the LEAP district and Lilly's massive multi-billion-dollar investment here,
construction continues to be on time. I mean, and we're expecting to be making medicine here soon, probably next year.
A lot of work going on in Boone County. Well, why is workforce development critical to the economy? Well, right now, there are an estimated 430,000 manufacturing jobs open across the country. That number could jump to 2 million by 2033. Still ahead, improved rail travel in Northwest Indiana on track to open soon. Plus,
It's going. You want a miracle? Mass just gave you one.
Indiana's Amish connection to bull riding and how the professional tour is putting big bucks into the state's economy.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader.
Richards, get in the game. We're getting pickled here, and they're crushing our loan business too.
But this Lake City Bank team seems nice. They offer small business loans from your phone.
We have that too.
You can even speak to a real live banker.
You guys good?
No one needs to talk to a person anymore.
I like people.
Nice game. Come by the branch anytime.
They have branches?
Friendly business loans. Apply online with SwiftLend or visit real human bankers at your local branch.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising faster among
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Well, after years of planning and construction, the massive Westlake Corridor project, the South Shoreline Extension, will open later this month in Northwest Indiana. That $945 million project, now known as the Monon Corridor, extends the South Shore Line by about 8 miles. It will connect Hammond to Dyer and has already sparked significant transit-related development along the way. The long-anticipated project adds 4 new stations and is projected to shorten the commute time from Northwest Indiana to downtown Chicago. Passengers can begin boarding March 31st. When she starred at the University of Notre Dame and in the WNBA, Devereaux Peters was a difference maker on the court. Now she's making a difference off the court as well. After years of development and some setbacks, work has begun on the Monroe, a 57-unit mixed-use, mixed-income residential development in downtown South Bend. The project is being developed by Chicago-based Chateau 14 Development, which was founded by Peters.
because of just how much support I got from the community, from the city, from city council, all expressing how much they wanted this to happen. That really is what pushed me through to be able to figure this out with my team.
The Monroe will also include live-work units for local entrepreneurs in commercial space. It is expected to open next August. An update now to our top story from last week. The WNBA and its players union have agreed in principle to a new collective bargaining agreement that puts a significant amount of more money in players' pockets. What does it mean for WNBA players who lobby to be paid what they believe they're worth? Well, Supermax contracts will start at nearly $1.5 million. Average salaries will range between $300,000 to $600,000, which is a big increase over what they were making. The deal means the WNBA will, in fact, start on time May 8th. A lot of people at Gainbridge Fieldhouse excited about that. Well, dozens of items from the Jim Irsay collection now have new homes and a place in the record books after an auction at Christie's in New York.
This is now your moment at $12 million. Sold at $12 million.
A 1969 Fender Stratocaster previously owned by Pink Floyd vocalist, guitarist David Gilmour, sold for, get this, $12.1 million, the most money ever paid for a guitar at auction. Including buyer's fees and taxes, the total price, more than $14 million. Jack Kerouac's famous On the Road scroll sold for more than $12 million, around 4 times what he paid for it back in 2001. Well, here's a sport that's not for the faint of heart, professional bull riding, which is gaining in popularity big time. This weekend, the world's best to climb on the backs of 2,000-pound bucking bulls are in Indianapolis for the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour.
It's starting. You want a miracle? Mass just gave you one.
That's Hoosier Marcus Mast, a star on the PBA Tour who grew up on his family's Amish dairy farm in northern Indiana. He got into bull riding as a teenager and says you can make a decent living at it if you keep your head on straight.
In my opinion, that's 95% of the sport is right in between here. It's all in your head. If you got any doubts about it, there's a very good possibility that you're probably not going to get your bull rode that day. But if you can believe it, most of the time you can achieve it.
The PBR event in Indianapolis is expected to drive a big amount of money into the regional economy. PBR reporting its strongest start ever in January this year, with nearly 145,000 fans attending its bull riding events. Up next, taking off and touching down across the state to check out some big investments at Hoosier airports, from Fort Wayne to Evansville. We'll look at developments putting wind beneath the wings and driving big numbers into regional economies.
We are bringing the power of this to this with a new IBJ Media app. For the first time ever, you'll be able to get the Indiana Lawyer, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indianapolis Business Journal all in one place wherever you go. All across the state of Indiana, IBJ Media provides the news you need to know, and we're doing it now directly to your phone. To be a part of this, you can find it on your favorite app store. Just search IBJ Media.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising Small faster businesses among need help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
Well, circling back now to another infrastructure story that kicked off our show this week, the economic impact of aviation in Indiana. You know, Indianapolis is not the only Indiana aviation hub experiencing wind beneath its wings.
We've got the radar dialed in on 4 Indiana airports. First stop, Fort Wayne International Airport, where a record number of travelers passed through in 2025, more than 980,000, a 14% increase over the previous year. This after major expansions to the airport's west terminal and current renovation underway on the east terminal. Also in the works, business and military jet giant Bombardier with a multi-million-dollar investment plan to build a new service center at Fort Wayne International, expected to bring up to 100 jobs to the region. Next stop, South Bend International, where we find another big year for passenger traffic, more than 1 million. Add to that the completion of a $105 million project to realign a taxiway and reconstruct the terminal ramp. Also, a $14 million expansion to improve access for people to get to and from the terminal, and the $112 million realignment of the South Shore Line, which would reduce travel time between South Bend and Chicago by about 15 minutes. Heading to southwest Indiana to touch down at Evansville Regional Airport, where there's an increased emphasis on technology.
Rotate right. Good, so it found where we were. It tells me to rotate right, so I will.
It helps make the travel experience more inclusive, especially for visually impaired and blind guests. Our final destination, the Purdue University Airport, where Saab has set up shop to build parts for the new T-7A Red Hawk fighter jet for the U.S. military. In addition to that, the airport opened the new $12 million Amelia Earhart terminal in August.
Aviation and aerospace adding to the bottom line statewide. Also, the Aer Lingus nonstop flight from Indianapolis to Dublin, which launched about a year ago, is so popular, the airline adding a 5th weekly flight. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. We leave you this week with a Hoosier Award-winning palate pleaser in the town of Oldenburg in southeast Indiana at Wagner's Village Inn, where they serve arguably the tastiest fried chicken on earth. I had some recently. It is fantastic. Go out and make it a successful week.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Richards, get in the game. We're getting pickled here. And they're crushing our loan business, too.
But this Lake City Bank team seems nice. They offer small business loans from your phone.
We have that, too.
You can even speak to a real live banker.
You guys good?
No one needs to talk to a person anymore.
I like people.
Nice game. Come by the branch anytime.
They have branches?
Friendly business loans. Apply online with SwiftLend or visit real human bankers at your local branch.
and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech.
Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader. Indiana's biggest names, their most personal stories. The Business and Beyond podcast brings you one-on-one conversations with the state's top leaders in business, sports, politics, and culture. If you want to know what makes Indiana tick, this is your show. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcasts.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.